Can you buy stamps or coffee or whatever the currency is for that prison with commissary? Now, stamps are pretty much a universal commodity among the prisons as far as in the Fed system. There used to be cans of tuna fish, but it's real bulky, and if you have a locker full of tuna fish, basically, it's your suspect. But stamps you can hide. I mean, there was guys who would basically be loan sharks in prison. They would loan out stamps to other inmates with interest. And if you knew how to run your loan sharking business properly, off of stamps alone, you can make probably, a couple thousand a month, because there's a lot of gambling, there's a lot of drugs, and there's a lot of commerce going on in prison. People selling food, making food for people and selling it. People, like I said, selling drugs. People doing artwork, tattoos, gambling, whether it be football, the card table, dice. So stamps is a big commodity, and pretty much you can use. People go to commissary usually once a week, and you could sell stamps to people and have them bring you stuff from commissary. So you can get hair products, food, coffee, whatever you want, whatever they have on commissary, you could pretty much purchase with stamps, because there's always people looking for books of stamps in prison. It's a big commodity. People send money from the streets so that they can have so that they can buy stamps in prison. So it's not so obvious. So if you're a guy who sells stamps and a guy wants to buy, let's say he wants to gamble and he wants to play with, like, say, $4,000 or $5,000, that person on the street would have somebody send money to his books or to his girl on the street. In exchange, if this guy has all the books, he would basically distribute the books to this guy who wanted the stamps, and now that guy has actual, it's like casino chips to gamble in prison with. So stamps are a big commodity, and it's a big currency in the federal prison. Is it safe to sell Pruno? No. Selling Pruno is very dangerous in prison, unless you're rolling with an organized gang or a clique in prison. If you're a one man and you're trying to do Pruno, most likely you're not going to be very successful, because there's just so many other variables. Usually somebody who's selling Pruno has a connection with somebody stealing fruit out of the kitchen, or yeast, or certain ingredients that allows them to actually make the Pruno. You got to have somewhere to hide the Pruno, and usually that Pruno, once you start making it, you got to rotate it because it starts stinking. So you don't want to leave it in one area too long, because the officer walks by there, he'll start smelling it, and basically he'll raid that or shake down that area. So the Pruno has to be able to move around to various hiding places, which requires more than one person's involvement. Pruno also, because you're dealing with an element of a substance abuse, you got guys who are serious about getting their drink on. And if a guy's serious about getting a drink on, he's willing to commit violence to get that drink on. So if you have Pruno and you hid it somewhere, somebody else finds it and you're not respected, they'll take it, drink it, or sell it. And now you got to deal with that, because once you find out who did that and you don't retaliate, you become now suspect of being a sucker. So, you're going to have to go either split that guy's wig or come to some type of agreement following the loss of your Pruno. So Pruno is it's a very dangerous business. It's not like you could just and then on top of it, if you get collar Pruno, you're going to the SHU, which is solitary confinement, lockdown, where you're in the cell. So because you're going to be under investigation, and you can get time added to your sentence if you do get collar Pruno. In some cases, if it's multiple incidents. But Pruno is it's a very dangerous game, because there's a lot of money to be made. Guys who perfected Pruno in prison are making good money, more than guys working in prison are. And these guys know how to hustle. They got usually a crew of guys who they work with. They split the money up, and Pruno is actually a big business. But don't jump into the Pruno game unless you're ready to, handle the consequences that come with it. And unless you got a team of guys behind you who are going to support you in case, you take this hit. Because like I said, a batch of Pruno, it might be worth anywhere from 500 to $1,000 bucks. So it ain't nothing to play with. You know, money's serious in prison.